Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we will be solving the subarray sum equals to k problem. So it is a very important question and it is frequently asked in technical interviews. So let us first look at the question. So it says that we have been given an array of integer which is num and an integer k. We have to return the total number of continuous subarrays whose sum is equal to k. So one point to note is that we have to give continuous subarrays. Okay. So I'm sure you might be knowing what a subarray is. A subarray is a part of the bigger array and it has to be continuous. So this is a continuous subarray. An individual element is also a continuous subarray. This is a continuous subarray. Okay. So so the question is pretty straightforward. So here if you check the subarray 1 comma 1 forms the first subarray and this forms the second subarray, and this is how the output is 2. Let us check the second part of the test case. So here if we check 1 comma 2 becomes one of the subarray and 3 becomes one the other subarray, and that's how we get 2 as the answer. So I think the question is pretty much clear. So we will move on to the algorithm to solve this one. Okay, so let us check the solution for this one. So I have taken this as the example. Here I have 4 1 2 3 5 9 and the k is equal to 5. So if you check this thing, so this is one of the subarray whose sum is equal to 5. 2 comma 3 is another subarray whose sum is equal to 5, and 5 is one of the subarray whose sum is equal to 5. So therefore the actual answer should be 3 in this case. Okay. So I have taken a variable called as the sum, which is actually the running sum or the current sum, whatever you can say. I also have a map which is of type integer comma integer, and initially it will only have 0 comma 1. So let us understand this part exactly. What are we doing here? So what does this particular thing signifies? So 0 comma 1 signifies that I have a subarray of sum equal to 0 and I have seen it once time. Okay, so at the start of the subarray, like at the start, we have not considered any of the element, right? So that time the subarray which is equal to 0. So this is what it signifies. So 0 comma 1 is what is the initially we will add it into the hash map, and after that we will take into consideration the first element, that is 4. So we will add it to the running sum, that is 0 plus 4, which becomes 4, and every time we will check this condition, that is sum minus k is present in the hash map or no. So if you check 4 minus 5, that is minus 1, it is not present in the hash map. So we will go ahead and we will add it into the hash map now. So 4 comma 1. So now understand what does this signifies. So it signifies that 4 that at this particular point I have a subarray whose sum is equal to 4 and I have seen it one time. That is what it signifies at this part. Okay. So similarly, we have processed this one. So we will move on to the next element, that is this one. So it would be 4 plus 1, that is 5. Okay. And here I will do 5 minus k, that is 5 minus 5, that is 0. So yes, 0 is present into the hash map, right? So what we can do is that we will add result. So initially result was 0, right? So after this we will add the value of 0, that is 1. So the result becomes 1. So here if you check closely, at this particular point we have found one subarray whose sum is equal to 5, and that is stored into the result part. And similarly we will also add the current sum into the hash map. So I'm sure you have now understood, right, what exactly we are doing. So 5 at this particular point, I can say that there is a subarray of some 5 and it is occurring one time. Okay, so that is how the algorithm works. Okay, so let's take the next element now. So 5 plus 2 becomes 7. Okay, and 7 minus 5, that is 2. It is not present in the map, right? So we will not add anything, and we will add this thing into the map, hash map. Okay, after this we have 7 plus 3, that becomes 10. Okay, and 10 minus 5, that is this particular condition. 10 minus 5 is present in the map, right? Yeah, so 7, so 10 minus 5 is present in the map, that is 5 is present. So we will update the result with the value of 5, that is 1. So it becomes 2. So if you check at this particular at this point, we have two subarrays whose sum is equal to 5. The first one being this subarray, the second one being this subarray, and that is what we have calculated until this point. Okay, so also we will add it to the map, that is 10 comma 1. Now if you check, now we will consider the next element, that is 5. So it would be 10 plus 5, that is 15, and 15 minus 5, that is 10. So if you check, this particular condition again becomes true, that is 15 minus 5 becomes 10, and that is present in the map. So we will again increment the result. So here it would be 2 plus 1. The reason for it being because the value of 10 is 1, so it would be 3 in this case. Okay, and similarly we will add 15 comma 1 into the hash map. Okay, then next is 9. So 9 plus 5, 15 plus 9 becomes 24, and 24 minus 5 is 90, and it is not present in the map. So we would just add it into the hash map. So result will not be increment. Result won't be updated in that case. So and at the end we have the result variable which stores the actual result. So I think the algorithm is pretty much clear. So I will quickly show you the code. Then it would be you would be better. You would understand it much better. Okay. So this is the code. Here I have initialized the hash map, and here I have put the first element, that is 0 comma 1. So I have explained you the reason for that, right? And then I am looping through the code through the array and calculating the current sum, and I am checking if current sum minus k is present in the map or not. If it is present, I am incrementing my count, that is the final result variable, and also every time I am updating the hash map with the current sum. Okay, so I think this is the code for it. It is very self-explanatory. Once you understand the algorithm, this would be very easy to digest. Talking about the time and space complexity, this time complexity remains big O of n because we will loop through each and every element of the input array, and the space complexity would be again big O of n because in worst case we might add n elements into the hash map. Okay, so I think this is pretty much it about this question. It's a very important question. I would request you guys to please focus on this one. And if you have any doubt or any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you.